We got him. Hello? Hello?
Hi, Mike Eruzione.
Hi, Mike. John, who I talked to you. Thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Wow. How are you, sir? Hello? How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Thanks for calling in.
For everyone who doesn't know, Mike, captain of the 1980 U.S. gold medal winning Olympic hockey team, the Miracle on Ice. You were the second leading scorer in BU history, inducted into the BU Athletic Hall of Fame. Now, I read up when you were younger, you were all scholastic in baseball, football, and hockey. Which one was your favorite to play? Was it hockey?
Probably football and then baseball. I played more baseball in my life probably than I played hockey, but I really loved playing football. That was kind of fun, especially in high school.
Yeah.
Hockey was just something you did in the wintertime, and I obviously could play it, but I really loved those other sports.
How would your career have turned out if you went with one of the other options?
Oh, I would have been coaching and teaching. I wouldn't have gone far in either one of those. All of a sudden, I started to see the curveball, and I was in trouble as a baseball player.
That's what happened to me too, dude. Don't feel bad.
But before you went pro, you played in the Olympics there. You were at BU for all 4 years, one of the top scorers there all time. Recall, what is one of your bigger memories, one of your better games at BU?
I don't remember. I mean, I wasn't into myself in the games that I played. I just think winning championships, we won 4 straight Hockey East, ECAC at the time. Championships, went to 4 Final Fours, which are now the Frozen Fours. Unfortunately, never won one, which is probably the one part of my career as an athlete that I look back on and I get very frustrated at. Had 4 chances and couldn't win one of them. Then I graduated and they won it the next year. So
sucks.
I just think, winning when I was there, we had some great teams, great players. Like I said, we won a couple of bean pots when I was there. We won 4, ECAC championships, and that was always fun for me. I don't remember any particular games. It was always nice to beat Boston College if you could. Cornell was a big rivalry for us at the time, and in my 4 years, we never lost to Cornell, so that was kind of nice. So I think I remember those things more.
Very nice. Moving on to your Olympic years, Coach Brooks was known for being a real tough coach. How was your relationship with him during that run?
I had a great relationship with Herb. Herb was the coach. We were the players. And I was just telling someone the other day, we were talking about coaching eras, and that's how coaches coached in the 70s and early 80s. Jack Parker, my coach at Boston University, was a very intense coach and in-your-face type of coach. My high school football coach and baseball and hockey coaches were the same way. They were disciplinarian. They were demanding. They asked a lot of you, and you performed. So Herb was the same way. I made a lot of analogies between Herb Brooks and Jack Parker. They both had a passion to coach and teach, and they were both intense coaches. And it was not a big deal to me because, here's your scenario. Either you deal with it or you quit. And I'm not quitting, so you can yell it and scream at me all you want, but I'm still going to keep playing.
I like that. Can you describe one of the tougher practices you had to go through with the coach?
Well, I think clearly when we played in Norway, after we played the game and we did those skating drills, which were known, we called the Herbies. We named them after our coach because we loved it so much. But that was a punishment. That was a very demanding practice for us. But most of our practice were pretty intense. Herb was a conditioning freak. And all of our practices were very high tempo, high speed, a lot of skating. And I look back, I guess, on it now and realize that part of our success was we were in such great shape, but we wore teams down in the third period. Right. And a lot of that had to do with the intensity of our practices.
Now, on that team, the 1980 team, you and Buzz Schneider were by far the oldest members of the team. How'd you go about taking that leadership role?
Not a big difference for Buzzy and I. If you look at that team and you look back on all of these players, Jack O'Callahan was a 2-time captain at Boston University. Billy Baker was a captain at Minnesota. Mark Johnson and Bobby Suter were captains at Wisconsin. Kenny Morrow and Mark Wells were captains at Bowling Green. I think, John Harrington and Mark Pavlich were captains at Minnesota Duluth. So if you look down that roster of players, there were a lot of kids, a lot of players who were captains. So there was a ton of leadership on that team. So it was not a big deal for Buzzy and I, although we were the older players, and older in some ways and probably just as immature as the other guys in other ways. But it was not a big problem for us because we had so many great leaders in that room.
Mike, we got a caller in here right now, wants to ask you a question. We got him here, Vern? Hello?
Yes.
Would you like to ask a question?
Yes, I sure would.
What's your name, bud?
I'm Brian.
Where you from?
From Grahamsville, New York.
Nice. Go ahead, you're on with Mike.
Hi, Mr. Eruzione. How are you? I just would like to say I'm a little bit older than your talk show host here tonight, and I appreciate everything I've ever watched and seen and been a part of what you did for our hockey in America and our country. The one thing I've always been intrigued by is I wonder what Coach Brooks ever did to build you guys as a team, as team members, and when he brought you guys together to face the daunting task against the Russians and the world. While we were a great team, we weren't maybe the best individual players, but what Coach might have done to make that different for you guys?
Hello, Mike. I think we lost Mike. 1 second, but could you hold on 1 second? I think we lost Mike.
I sure can.
I don't know. We apologize for this one.
Sorry, dude. Damn.
All right.
Fuck. Sorry, bud, but it seems like we lost Mike. Hopefully we can get it back on the phone here in a minute, and you can call back in, and hopefully he heard your question and he could just answer you right away. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, so we're having a little technical difficulties right now.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, it's Mike Eruzione again.
Oh, Mike, we lost you, man. We got scared.
I don't know what happened.
All right, we're sorry about that.
I apologize for that one.
Okay.
But
we had a caller calling with a question. Did you hear his question at all?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay.
It's all right. Hopefully he'll call back in.
Yeah, but getting back to that game against the USSR, you were down 3-2 going into the third. Was there ever a time when you thought you weren't going to win?
No, not really. I think, as an athlete, if you think you're going to lose, you probably are. So, our mindset was we were only one goal back. I think if we got behind 4 or 5 goals, then obviously reality sets in and you think you have almost impossible chance of coming back. But, throughout the game, we were, never got beyond that point where we really panicked or worried about the score. We kept it close, we kept it tight, and, going into the third period, even down 1, and it wasn't like we were down too many goals and thought, heck, that's easy to come back from. So, again, our confidence level was pretty high because we kept the game where we wanted it to be.
What were you thinking the moments leading up to that famous goal?
Leading up to the game?
Leading up to the goal itself.
I was just thinking the score's tied and just keep playing. For me, hockey's a game. It's a reaction. You never know what's going to happen. The puck bounces every which way, so you always got to be prepared. And I think, we've all played enough hockey games in our career to realize that it's a 3-3 game, and the next bounce could go one way or another, and hopefully it kind of comes your way.
Right.
And we got the right bounce at the right time, and Mark Pavlich and John Harrington did a great job of getting me the puck, and I had a great opportunity to capitalize on a scoring opportunity, and it worked.
All right. I was unfortunately born at the end of the 80s. I did watch the entire game. I don't even know how many times on ESPN Classic. I've obviously seen the movie. My question to you is, what was the sentiment within the team towards the Russian team? Was it like America taking on Russia, or was it you guys were just playing another team?
It was a hockey game. I mean, when we played Norway, it was the United States taking on Norway. When we played Czechoslovakia, it was the United States taking on Czechoslovakia. So I think anytime you put a USA jersey on, it's a great honor and a great feeling to know that you represent your country. So you're playing against whatever country. The Soviets, we didn't look at them as, the communist country. We looked at them as perhaps one of the best hockey teams in the world. So we never really looked at it from the political aspect. It's a hockey game. But when it's the Olympic Games, it's a little different because you do have a shirt on that says USA, and I think that gives you a little different mindset and a great feeling of patriotism.
With all the emotion that went through you guys after winning that game, a lot of people don't remember that wasn't the gold medal game. Was there any chance of like a letdown against Finland where you're not feeling as hyped as you were for the game against the Soviets?
Oh, no, there wasn't going to be a letdown. You know, we had a day off. I shouldn't say day off. We had a day off between games, but we had a real hard practice on that Saturday. We beat the Soviets Friday night and had a real intense practice Friday morning. And, I think our guys realized we didn't go to the Olympic Games to win one game or three games. We went to win whatever possible medal we could win. And as it turned out, we ended up having an opportunity to win the gold medal. So the Russian game was over. And for us as a team, again, we had to beat Finland to capture the ultimate prize. And if we lost to Finland, the Russian game really wouldn't have meant much to us because, that's not why we went to the Olympic Games, to beat one team.
Absolutely. Has there ever been an experience in your life that could have matched winning that gold medal?
Not as an athlete. I think as an athlete that was, my greatest moment. I've been very blessed to have three great children, so I think to be around when they were born was far greater than beating the Russians. But I think from an athletic standpoint, that was probably my most special moment.
Okay, my question, what did you think about the movie? The Miracle.
What did you think about?
The movie, The Miracle.
I thought it was done well. I think the movie captured what the moment meant. I think the movie captured the spirit of our team and the closeness of our team. Kurt Russell was absolutely amazing as Herb Brooks, although he was a little softer in the movie than Herb actually was.
Well, it was
Disney. Him up a little. I wish more of the guys in the team were mentioned in the movie. I think they spent too much time on me and Ralph Cox and Jim Craig, and probably maybe even Herb. There were a lot of great players on that team that hardly got mentioned in the movie. So, if I could do it over again, I would recommend to them that they maybe make the movie a half an hour longer and add more of my teammates. But for the most part, I thought the movie was done well, considering what Hollywood can do to a movie.
Definitely. Are you update and current with the NHL nowadays? Are you a Bruins fan?
Yeah, I'm a Bruins fan living in Boston, but I don't follow it a ton. I wait for the playoffs. Actually, although I did watch a little of the Bruins-Colorado game, I was just turning the TV. But for me, hockey kind of kicks in, January, February. It's still early. Teams are still feeling themselves out, even though, you do play the games and all the games count. But playoff hockey to me is absolutely spectacular. I follow the college game quite a bit and enjoy. Obviously I work at Boston University, so I follow our program and go to quite a few BU games. But the NHL is for me it's nice to see it start and playing. And I guess with no basketball going on and maybe no basketball at all, a lot of people are going to watch hockey.
I hope that's the case. It needs to get some more exposure out there. It was a couple nights ago. I know that you said they're playing Colorado tonight. Did you get to see the chance of the hit that Lucic put on Ryan Miller of the Sabres?
I did. I happened to watch, again, flicking channels. I was watching it. I was having dinner with some friends, and the Bruins game was on, and the place we were at was flicking channels between Bruins game, and I don't know if there was a football game or whatever. But yeah, that was a real freaky kind of play. I think Lucic could have got out of his way. He could have pulled up, but then I was reading in the Boston paper what Lucic had said. He had his head down, and the next thing he looked up, and Miller had come out, and I think it could have been avoided. I'm a big Miller fan. I think he's, in my opinion, probably the best or two best goalies in the world. And, normally you don't take a run at a goaltender of that stature. If it was a rookie or some kid, they tend to maybe run that person over, but not somebody like Miller. So I thought it could have been avoided, but, he didn't get fined, he didn't get suspended, so maybe the NHL felt that what Lucic was doing was, unavoidable, but it was a pretty good collision.
Oh, yeah, one of the bigger hits we've seen in a while. It doesn't hurt that, Ryan Miller, like yourself, USA hockey legend after that last Olympics case. But what are you up to now? What do you do at BU?
Well, I work at Boston University. I've been there about 15 years. I work in the development office, kind of do some fundraising for the university and some, maybe some ambassadorship stuff for the university. I once in a while get to meet with the recruits on campus. maybe speak at a class, meet with students that might come in and want to chat about the Olympics. Some students sometimes do stories, history majors sometimes do stuff on the Cold War, and they'll call me. So it's kind of fun. I guess, like I said, I do a variety of things for the university. I also coach, an assistant coach at my high school here in my hometown in Winthrop, Mass. We have a pretty good hockey program, so I volunteer. I've been doing that for quite a while. And actually just opened up a business. I'm an independent business owner, along with Bonnie Blair, Dan Jansen, Bart Connor, Nadia Comaneci, and Jackie Jonah Kersey. We bought into a company called Kivana. It's spelled Qivana, and it's a nutraceutical company that deals with health and nutrition. So it's something we're pretty excited about, and it's a new venture for all of us. We've never been in business before, so it's kind of fun.
We got to get you on Twitter then, Mike.
I am on that Twitter stuff. I'm just figuring it out right now. I tweet every once in a while, but I don't really have a lot to say, so it's fun to get on it. You know, I recently got on a little with a couple of comments I had about the Penn State incident and my opinion on it, but it is fun to tweet, I guess, but I'm still learning it.
While we got you on here, what did you feel about that Penn State case?
Well, you know, I had kind of different tweets on it. I think it might go down as the most, and I always trying to find the right word for this, embarrassing or sad. Maybe sad's a better word. Moment in sports history.
Definitely.
I don't think we've ever experienced a moment in sports like this. Although nothing's finished yet. Although I think more and more is going to come out. But, I always thought the Munich tragedy was amazing and sad, and I thought years before that, if you follow sports at all, you'll see that there was an airplane carrying our U.S. figure skating team to the Olympic Games, or the World Championships, I think it was, and the plane crashed, and our whole team, got killed. And 9/11 obviously was not a sporting event, but that was pretty tragic. But I think when you look at sporting events and tragic sports stories, I think this is the biggest one in our history, and that was kind of my first thought. That was, Joe P. had to go. I mean, they had to make a decision, and I think they made the right decision. And then when I saw the people rioting, I think one of my comments was obviously some students from Penn State that didn't have a class in common sense.
Right.
And then I think after that, when I saw the vigil that they had, I thought, what a tribute to the students who did take a common sense class. And realize that this was more than sports. This affected lives of hundreds of families and kids, and it's something that's very sad and very bizarre. But I think more and more is going to be coming out. So it's a very tragic story.
Did you catch that Costas interview?
What's that?
Did you catch the Bob Costas interview?
I thought the Bob Costas interview was spectacular.
Amazing.
I thought Bob asked all the right questions. Mm-hmm. Got pretty graphic with some of his questions. I can't believe that the guy came on and even talked without his attorney sitting with him. I know the attorney was with Bob Costas, but he wasn't sitting with him on the phone. And I can't believe some of the stuff he said. I have a son that's 27 and a son that's 24, and I don't think I ever once, well, I shouldn't say once, I think I saw my two sons in the shower when they were in their 20s when we played a hockey game and we got done playing, and all the guys got in the shower after we played. I can't imagine when he said he showers with little boys. I was just I wanted to strangle him. So it's just I know he tried to say the right thing, but I think the more we talked, the more he might have incriminated him.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree.
I agree with you there. We'll let you go quick, but one last question before we do. As a prospective student going into college, I'm looking at BU. Why should I go there?
Do you like hockey?
Love hockey.
There you go.
The only answer we need from Mike Eruzione.
No, you know what? Boston University is a great university. I don't know what your major would be. Obviously, probably communications.
Yes.
We've got an outstanding communications class. I know you're in upstate New York, and Syracuse is another great school with a great communication program. But BU's got a great communications program. It's in Boston, so if you're a sports fan, you've got the Red Sox, you've got the Patriots, you've got the Bruins, and maybe even some point the Celtics that are within driving distance or take the train. You get a great experience, a great education, and you're also in downtown Boston where there's a lot happening, a lot of cultural things that are there. It's a great city for college students. It's a lot of fun, and like I said, I think the education you get there, and especially in the School of Communications, is top notch.
All right, I'll definitely have to look into that further.
Well, you better include your grades if you want to go there.
Can you write us a letter?
Can I write you a letter?
Yeah.
Let me see your SAT scores and your class rank first.
Thanks.
All right, hockey champion, world champion, Mike Eruzione, thank you very much for coming on the show. Our pleasure to have you on.
All right, guys, take care.
Thank
You too.
Bye.